G'day everyone, welcome to Hook, Line and Sinker. And Nick, as someone said in a cowboy song once, the road goes on forever, but the party never ends.
Never a truer word spoken. This is Hook, Line and Sinker, the lap where we are doing an anti-clockwise loop of Australia, and today it's the central coast of New South Wales.
Hey, Dogs, you're on!
That's a better cod.
That's a better cod on the swim, mate.
That's a big fish.
Yeah! This is what it's all about, having a bark rustle like this driving around the country.
Look at that. Funny green piece we're here.
Big
Clip up. If you fall in the water, you do that sort of thing. Look at that.
Oh, look at the size of it! Oh, look at the size of it!
Today's destination of the week is the spot where Novocastrians come out to play, Lake Macquarie. Just to the south of Newcastle, Lake Macquarie is Australia's biggest coastal saltwater lagoon, about twice the size of Sydney Harbour. And as you'd expect, it's completely full of fish.
Our destination of the week is delivered to you by the unstoppable Isuzu D-Max, the truck that can do it all. Tow 3.5 tonnes or throw a tonne in the back, D-Max has the power to get the job done thanks to its 3-litre turbo diesel. D-Max, go your own way.
Lake Macquarie, it is a big body of water, and obviously we need local knowledge, we need help, and that's why we've called in this man, JJ or Joel Edwards, mate. Welcome to Hook, Line and Sinker.
Thank you very much, Hardy.
Mate, we've got our big flash boat here, and we're going to do some lure fishing and just sort of see what happens.
We are. We'll start off, we'll try and catch some pelagic, some tailor or salmon, and even maybe a kingfish on top.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you actually get pelagic fish come right up into the lake?
Yeah, we do, yeah. And especially this time of year. Coming into the cooler months, the salmon push in, and they stay here. So great fun on light tackle.
And what else is in the lake? Does it fish well?
It does. Oh, there's been some oddball captures of big cobia, dolphin fish.
Really?
Yeah, but your mainstay are flathead, jewfish, tailor, salmon. Kingfish are becoming more common.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's fishing really well. They banned commercial netting in 2003, so it's coming back better every
well, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
And mate, I'll put you on the spot. How many Sydney harbours?
I think it's 3.
I think it's 3, righto. This man knows what he's talking about. 3 Sydney harbours for whatever that's worth. Let's start by flicking some little surface lures around.
Yeah, the Xeric Paparazzis, they've been the winner lately.
Right.
So.
We got up nice and early, mate. It's like 9 o'clock. So
hey, business hours on Lake Macquarie.
At 5, and we said, how about 7? And here we are at 9. So.
With the day getting away from us a bit, it was decided that the lake's flathead population would be a safe place to start.
Oh, you've got the savage.
Oh, can I really wrap that? In you go.
Well, that wasn't coming off.
Half inch.
Half inch.
Got it. Yes.
Got it.
Yes, Joel. All right, so this is, you're saying that this is one of your, I just had a touch too.
Well done.
Coming onto a patch.
One of your favourite spots in all of this massive lake.
It is. It's a pretty reliable spot for the old dusky flathead.
And you'd have to say, looking at it, you know, there's not much on the surface to indicate that this is a good fishing spot, but I'm going to get the net, Joel.
Yeah, he's not a bad fish.
Get in the net.
This is a good fish, mate.
Yeah.
Fish trap getting it done.
You are a massive fan, would have to be said, of the Xeric fish trap for this sort of thing.
I am. This is the go-to in Lake Macquarie for deep water species like flathead and mulloway.
It's kind of changed, hasn't it? You know, the last couple of years.
Oh,
it is a very good lure.
They've just become so popular. As you can see, he wanted that.
He wanted it, and he got it.
Righto. Well, good. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Well, that's promising. Not content with showing us how to catch flathead, Joel decided to rub it in. Oh yes, you got him, Joel.
Got another one here. He might be a snapper, I think.
He's sort of
He's a
rattle,
rattly, isn't he?
rattle. And that's the thing about those fish traps, they catch everything, don't they?
That's right.
All different species. Are you going to get the net, Dogs? Are you the net boy?
No, you can
Okay.
get the net.
All right, I'll get it.
Joel, your advice to people, you know, anecdotal travellers like us, gypsies of the road,
Yep.
you know, who might pull up here at Lake Macquarie and seen Lake Macquarie on TV and stuff. What are the key things about fishing Lake Macquarie? Structure, you were saying that there isn't heaps of structure?
No, it's 75% sterile mud bottom.
Yeah,
So
right.
any sort of drop off or scattered gravel bed, or it's like a palm tree in a desert. So,
Yeah, righto. You know, getting either some local advice about where to go, or, you know, looking at the
100%.
sounder.
Using your sounder would be the biggest tip, I reckon.
That's probably a size snapper, isn't it?
Yeah, he'd probably be legal, yeah.
Do you need the net or are you happy?
I should be able to pole him in.
Righto. Well done. Snapper, flathead.
Little snapper. On the fish trap again.
Pretty little fish with his blue dots there.
Beautiful. Blue eyeshadow on.
Yeah, anyway, if you catch another fish, we might have to sub you out. We might have to have a little rest and sit on the bench because you might be a little bit.
You're into him. Oh, you're into him.
What is that?
This is becoming embarrassing. The fish trap clinic continues, Joel.
I don't know what this is.
I reckon it's a flatty, isn't it?
Another flathead.
Yeah. Oh, good fish too.
Oh, that's a better one.
Look at the size of this thing, yeah.
That is a nice flathead.
Oh, that is a really, really good lizard. And that's what I like about this fish trapping, because it seems that most fish you sort of get are decent, you know, decent quality, decent size.
It's a cranking fish,
This
isn't it?
thing, look at that. That is this boat's biggest flathead by some margin. Well
Oh,
done.
thank you.
Well done.
He didn't know he was hooked. I thought he was tiny at first.
No, I
not
think he was
tiny.
swimming up with you.
He has.
Good fish.
The fish trap does it again.
It's, Joel, this is sort of what people used to do. I guess they'd fish this area with bait. You know,
Yeah,
you'd
bait.
just sit here
Yeah.
and drift a bait.
Yep, for sure.
And that would work. But the quality of fish, I reckon, you can't. It's inarguable, Andrew, that you catch better fish on your lure than you do on your bait, I reckon.
Oh, if you get a fish on that, it's a good fish.
Yeah.
And we're fishing 10 metres, and these things enable us to do it the whole cast. So we cast out, they go to the bottom, and all the way back to the boat.
You're fishing.
They're down on the bottom in the zone where they're going to get eaten. And let's measure that fish. It's a good fish.
Yeah.
Back to front, the lie detector is 58.
58.
58, nice fish.
Nice fish.
Yeah, that's a nice flatty anywhere.
I'd take it.
I'd take anything. I'd take any fish at all. Just getting a bit of a lesson.
This session was taking on a familiar shape, us getting our backsides kicked. However, all that was about to change.
Oh, it was a good hit.
Got him?
Oh, he hit it twice. Hit it
Got
again.
him. Got him.
Woo! Got him.
Once, twice.
Once, twice. He was just sort of hitting it a few times, Dogs. And
Yeah.
look, I don't think it's 58 centimetres.
Flathead.
It's a fish.
It's a fish, mate. That's right. And I was just watching you. I think you've been pausing for a little bit longer
Okay.
than I have been, so I've slowed my retreat down. Yeah, look at that.
That's a diver whiting. A very ambitious whiting.
A huge win for Team HLS, and we're on the board. Still to come today, standing in the rain and talking to cows, plus our budget project boats go in for major surgery. Welcome back to Hook, Line and Sinker, The Lap. We're doing an anti-clockwise loop of Australia and find ourselves in the largest coastal lagoon in the southern hemisphere, Lake Macquarie, on the central coast of New South Wales.
Now, Joel, in the last 15 minutes, the weather has gone from absolutely zero wind up to now, you know, sort of 15 knots or so. Is it, is it generally a changeable spot to fish?
It can be really good, the wind, actually. I mean, no wind, no drift out here, and we do a lot of drifting, so...
Yeah, so we want to be moving.
Yeah, we want to be covering ground. A little bit of wind would be good. This is a bit more than we'd want, but we just have to work
Beggars
with
can't
it.
be choosers,
That's
mate. The
right.
other thing I like about this lake is the fact that legend has it that there are, you know, if not one, more than one, large great white sharks that call this their home.
That's very true. They pop up every now and then. There's
And people see them.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of sites, like Facebook pages that monitor them and let you know where they're popping up.
And have you ever seen the mythical great white of the lake?
I have, actually. We had it, he or she come up pretty close to the boat one day, down the south end of the lake, and dwarfed my 4.5 metre tinny pretty well.
And you're saying there's a cross-lake swim every year?
Yeah, they decided not to do it last year.
I reckon Hart'd be a good bloke for that. Put him in there, a little bit of mutton bird oil on him.
Yeah, well, I opted against it because I heard they like white dugong.
Oh, yeah. Well, I am the dugong. Swim across there. It's a pretty big lake. I don't reckon you can make it.
It's a long way.
With the breeze up, we found a sheltered shore with some fish busting up. Joel was given the helm of the crusher and access to 300 Yamaha horsepowers with immediate and almost disastrous results.
We all in?
Well, we had a cast in it.
Here they are.
Quick. Oh, they're good fish too. Then he did it again.
No, don't do any of that. Don't do any of that. No more touching.
Am I out of gear?
Oh, they're following. Oh, just eat it, just eat it. Oh, they're good. That was a king.
They kings.
Is that her yellow tail?
I got one.
Yes.
I got one on the fish trap.
Good one?
It's a reasonable fish, mate, yeah. I don't know what it is. And this is very good.
about
Pelagic
this?
in Lake Macquarie, eh? Fish busting up here everywhere. Reasonable fish. I've got a massive brim. Have a look at this. So he's
You're
underneath the pelagics.
Oh,
You're
yes.
onto the pelagic.
Onto the pelagic.
How good's that, eh?
What is it? What is it?
It's a kingy or
It's
a
not a-
salmon or
it's
something.
Tailor?
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
The popper. That's good, little tailor. But as mentioned, there are some seriously bigger fish than that. I had something followed up, and I think it was a kingy. Out of the same little bust up, drew a brim and a little tailor. They can go back. Yeah. And where'd the fish go? Where'd the fish go?
Yeah.
Where'd the fish go? They were here at the moment.
They'll just come up sporadically now.
That's good.
Oh, you got
Did
it.
it? That was cool.
Right at the boat. And that is another tailor. Another tailor. But how good is this? I mean, anywhere you can fish surface, fish little poppers, and get them eaten right at the boat, and potentially by things like kingfish and the salmon, we're talking like up to 10 pounds, like 5 kilos. This is very, very good fishing. I'm enjoying this. Not a bad tailor. Gulp.
Oh, what are
Paparazzi.
Oh, yes!
Fish on.
Dogs, that's a good fish.
I think it might be.
Get in there, Hardy. You'll get another one.
What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? Have we got one of the salmon? No, it's another one of the tailor, which seem to be the things that are most prepared to eat our little poppers. Oh, yep. Oh, yep. A couple of little fishies just followed my lure.
They're good fighters, aren't they?
They are. What we really want is the big fish that we saw among these, Taylor, but that's not as easy as we're hoping. These are a good little scrapper, aren't they?
Lake Macquarie offers a huge variety of options. For Flathead, the Xeric fish trap fished deep and slow is a must-have, while the small pelagics love the Xeric paparazzi. Check out wilsonfishing.com for details. And for your trip to the Central Coast, let Port Stephens Accommodation find you the perfect place to stay.
For us, it's this awesome house in Nelson Bay. Walking distance to the centre of town, a couple of 100 metres to the boat ramp, and enough off-street parking for the D-Max and Crusher. Port Stephens Accommodation have a huge range of holiday rentals and one that's perfect for your budget. Check it out at portstephensaccommodation.com.
After the break, the roadshow rolls north to Coffs Harbour, and there's a genuine surprise in store. It's still to come today, the point of no return, as we show you how to do a project boat on a budget. If you would like to dig a little deeper into the when, where and how, plus all the latest gear to use, look no further than the team at Wilson Fishing.
He's a good fish.
A family-owned Australian fishing company, Wilson, have the online resources to help you catch more fish more often.
Oh mate, look at this thing. It's gold.
It's unbelievable.
Xeric Zeppelins.
Well done.
Subscribe for your free online magazine, Redefine the Game.
Yes, double booyah! Nice.
Explore countless action-packed YouTube tutorials.
It's 80! That's a beast.
That is what fishing is about, is catching things like that in places like this. Absolutely awesome.
And stay up to date via social media for news from all the brands that make Wilson Fishing great. Sinker's lap of Australia, and we're working our way up the New South Wales coast. We've just rolled into Coffs Harbour and making a plan for the day.
So, one of the rare days on our road trip where the connection between the mighty D-Max and the Crusher will be broken.
Yeah, it just has to be, Nick. It's blowing 25 knots offshore. Famous Coffs Harbour for its offshore fishing, but no, not today. It can't be done.
Equally famous though, well, not equally famous, that's ridiculous, but also reasonably well known for its river fishing drive.
Yeah, there's good fish up this neck of the woods, Nick. Australian bass, I believe.
Yeah.
You get the odd mangrove jack. We're that far north that you start to get these sort of tropical species.
Yes, we are, but also something extremely unexpected. We had instructions to drive inland to meet a man with a beard. It wasn't a very nice day. Ooh. Our guide in this area, our guide on the Coffs coast, Andrew, of course, is this gentleman, Sam Gilchrist. Sam,
Hi, gentlemen. Thanks for having me back.
It's
the
freezing
program.
cold.
Now we're about 9 kilometres out of Eborn. I think it's about 9 degrees. It is blowing 30 knots from the southeast and raining. We've turned it on.
I'm not really dressed for this, Sam.
No, you are from
So what,
Tasmania.
bass?
Bass.
Trout and salmon, hopefully.
What?
Yes. Hour out of
Trout?
Coffs.
Like it's Queensland just over there.
I know. It's a little fishery that not too many people know about up here.
It's certainly cold enough for trout, Sam.
Certainly is.
Whew. So, Sam, trout. What are trout doing here?
I believe that fisheries stock all of the little streams up on the tablelands up here between Dorrigo and Armidale.
So we're actually quite high. You know, we're sort of up a bit. We drove up a great big mountain to get here.
Yeah, well, I think we're about 1,500 metres above sea level.
Yeah.
Hence the temperature. It's normally lovely out here, but
This is Sam's jumper. You're a good man, mate. Fair jump.
he was freezing. And
Hard though, hard as a cat's head, mate. Oh, he's over there.
yes, Hardy's gone the other side.
And there should be a little trout in there. The head of the pool, Drew, that's the spot for a trout, isn't it?
Nick, they're a trout, aren't they? They're going to be where trout sit. This bubble line coming down here, the head of a pool, the bubbles bring the food with them. So they're sitting here facing up away from us, into the rain, into the wind. Unless this is one big joke, unless there's no trout in here and this is just a joke on us.
Why, you know, what sort of trout are in here?
It's like all the trout. Brook, rainbow, brown, salmon.
That's right, isn't it? This is one place where you can catch the grand slam of salmonids.
Yep. Grand slam.
I think
We could
that's
only
true.
dare
There are
dream.
brook trout, rainbow trout and brown trout stocked in this waterway. There's a sign over there near the bridge. There'd be something to come here and catch 3 species of trout in one day. My uncanny mooing ability had got big boy's attention.
He's going to kill you, Drew.
This was a huge issue for Andrew, who was very, very frightened of cows.
I'm crossing over.
Why?
Because that bull's there.
It's like just a big cow.
It's not, it's a bull. And it
And you
will...
just say, ooh, get out of here, big bull.
Have you ever tried the running
Yeah.
of the bulls?
What?
The running of the bulls.
Yeah, they don't use Angus farm bulls for the running of the bulls. They get bulls that they taunt, make angry.
I don't want to get killed by a bull.
Where the
It's
bull
really
was.
embarrassing.
He made us get back in the D-Max and find a cow-free stream. It was a good move.
Yep. Oh,
Oh, that's encouraging.
you had it twice.
Hit twice.
Yeah.
I told you, the bend.
There's actually fish in it. I didn't believe it. I did not believe it. I knew there was one there. There had to be one there. And there was. And it took a few little delicate little casts. And that is just like trout fishing anywhere. It was just the perfect bend. It's a snaky little stream, a lot of shallow bits, and then these sort of deeper, slower pools. And this fish, of course there was going to be a fish there. And how good is this? Trout fishing out the back of Coffs Harbour. Look him up there. And that, it is a trout. I didn't believe it, and now I do, because that is a trout. That is a trout. That's fantastic. And there he is, rainbow trout. And it, as Nick was saying before, rainbows, browns, brook, and some sort of salmon in here. Whoever did this, whoever decided to put trout in those little streams, they're a good person, because it would have been easier not to stock those streams with trout. But they've got trout, and then you can come here and you can catch them. I like it. Look at that. Pretty spot, pretty little fish.
Stay with us after the break. The fishing heats up. There's a pitiful attempt at athletics, and then the power tools come out as our budget boats pass the point of no return.
If you love Hook, Line and Sinker, then don't let the magic end when the show does.
You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, constantly posting updates and videos about our adventures.
There we go. Holy.
Feel free to join in the conversation, post stories and pictures of your greatest catches, and keep up to date with where we've been and where we're going.
Oh, look at the size of it! Oh, look at the size of it!
So jump online today and become part of the Hook, Line and Sinker team. Hook, Line and Sinker's lap of Australia, and despite being a stone's throw from Queensland, we're out fishing for trout. We've braved the cold and an irritable cow, but now have an even greater danger, a groin-frying, high-voltage fence.
I don't know if I can.
Got electric fences, got bulls. This is going back to how I grew up.
Yeah.
Fishing the, spinning the streams around Tassie.
There's every chance I don't make that as a 47-year-old man. if I could possibly flop it, I'd get over it.
I'd like to see you fall on top of it.
I know, and get a few on the way through.
Spinning for trout, I reckon it's not that hard because you just throw it out there,
Yep. That, like that.
wind it back in, like
Yeah.
that, and then the trout jumps on.
Yeah.
But I think we need to be in the right spot, and you can sort of tell where they're going to be sitting. Any likely looking spot.
Yes.
One cast,
Yes.
if you don't get one, I reckon move on.
Righto.
Fish on.
Oh, you're killing it.
Killing it. A beautiful
Killing it.
little rainbow.
Well done. Proving quite productive. This isn't. It's really, it's excellent.
You like trout fishing at the best of times.
It really is. Very authentic.
Andrew.
Right, and here comes the sun, would you believe? This is, I I thought when we left Lake Yukonburn on our lap around Australia that might have been the end of trout for a while, but this is quite good.
Yeah, we found a little stream that's holding a couple of active fish.
Do you know anything about why they're here? Like, they're obviously stocked. How long have they been stocked for?
I think they've been stocked for the last 15 years or so, and there's a hatchery just outside of Ebor, which is, you know, you can actually go up there for a day visit and see all the mature trout. They release a few mature ones into the creeks or streams each year. So there are some trophy trout out here, but the run-of-the-mill fish is that size.
And do you eat them?
I have eaten them before. My father-in-law loves them.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to feed.
I know. You want me to get another diver? Because that seems to be working really well. No?
No. Think you two just catch a fish or two.
Do a bit about how you're going to sit in the car then.
Have you got...
I'm not going to sit in the car.
Well, where are you going to stand outside of the car?
Sorry?
You got another one of those little...
lure, and we didn't bring a backpack.
Yeah.
So our lures are in the car, are they not?
Yeah.
So I've got to go back to the car to get a lure.
So we'll see you back here?
Well, you won't be here, will you?
So we'll meet up with you on the river somewhere.
Probably on the river somewhere.
I'm happy to come and get that rod and a lure and come back.
Would you like to come back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit windy for the fly today. It's a bit windy for the fly today.
To the car.
Ah, good fish. Big fish. This is a good one. This is the fish of the day. He just came out of there and absolutely annihilated it. Duigan in the car, sitting in the car. Sam's gone with him. I thought Sam was a bit harder than that, to be honest. But no, sitting in the car when you could be having fun catching trout. I'm just gonna... Oh, no, he's gone, but that's okay. Good release. Eating that little hard body lure. That's fantastic. That was another rainbow. I reckon it's much better fishing this stream by yourself, because with Sam, he sort of jumps ahead and scares all the fish, and Nick's sort of there getting snagged and swearing and carrying on. Whereas you just sort of hop down here, a few casts here and there, and it's very, very good. It's even starting to warm up. I reckon it's gone to 12 degrees now. Which is good. Well, I've wrapped my lure around this barbed wire fence, and I mean, I don't have another lure, so I have to get it. I'll tell you where you don't make a fishing show. You don't make a fishing show sitting in the car when it gets a little bit tough. That's where you don't make a fishing show. You've got to get out here and have a go, have a crack at something. Oh, twiddle. Back in the game, baby. Come on.
Well done, Drew. Heroic stuff. Trout, believe it or not, are fairly abundant out Dorrigo way, and access is good if you're not afraid of cows.
Or rain. A little spin stick or fly rod is all you need. A shallow diving minnow was the lure of the day.
We're frequent visitors to Coffs and always stay here at the brilliant Opal Cove Resort. There's a huge range of activities from golf and games room to pool and beach access. Horizons Restaurant is an absolute standout, and whether it's steak or seafood, only the freshest local produce makes it onto the menu. I'm not sure if they do trout. For the perfect stay in Coffs Harbour, head to opalcove.com for all the details.
Still to come, your chance to save big bucks as we demonstrate project boat building on a budget. It's like winning lotto.
The world's shipping industry is enormous. It puts food on our tables every night and keeps the wheels of commerce turning.
The good news is that the Australian Maritime College has made it simpler than ever to get a slice of the action.
Sydney-based Steve Westfield's maritime career began as a stevedore on the iron ore wharves of Western Australia. And thanks to the AMC's distance education program, he's just completed an MBA in maritime and logistics management.
My current role is trade manager of the Pacific Islands for Swire Shipping. I'm responsible for managing 3 key shipping services through Australia, New Zealand, the Pacific Islands and Asia.
The flexibility offered by AMC's distance learning program allowed Steve to work full-time while completing the MBA.
I did my entire course via distance. I was enrolled in the Launceston faculty, however, all my work was done here in Sydney.
As well as keeping the island nations of the Pacific supplied, Steve is also the New South Wales chairman of Young Shipping Australia. His MBA has demonstrated that he's committed to the shipping industry.
I think the MBA of Maritime Logistics showed to would-be employers in the industry that I was serious and I was committed to the shipping industry. And it's also a good opportunity to tap into AMC's network Australia-wide, meet other graduates and get involved.
The Australian Maritime College offers a range of pathways into both undergraduate and postgraduate degrees, and students are able to study on campus or via distance ed. For more information, visit amc.edu.au. You're watching Hook, Line and Sinker, and time now for some project boats on a budget, thanks to the on-water money experts at Yamaha Motor Finance. So far, we have each purchased a very old boat, mine a classic Haynes V19.
And mine an even more classic and innovative Haynes Tri-Hunter. Both are pretty much wrecks, but all that changes today.
Now, because I'm doing this on a budget and I'm taking it seriously, I'm going to do as much as I can, possibly all of it, by myself. Got the boat down here at my house. Today's task, get this top shell off the boat. I'm going to lift it off the boat. So to start with, I'm going to take off this 49-year-old bump strip. It's just been riveted on there. Look at that, see? I've got to get this off from the whole way around the boat. And then I'm hoping this top shell, with a little bit of force, will just pop off, meaning we have better access to the bottom of the boat being a bit stuffed. And then I'm going to sort of sand this back and make it all pretty. Boat on a budget. Right, where am I going? Here.
My project boat is a boat rich in history. A Haynes Hunter Tri-Hunter, built we think in the early 70s. It's quite rare, less than 100 were made, and the design is a straight copy of the legendary Boston Whaler. I paid a Gumtree man $5,000 for the hull and trailer.
Look, I think in hindsight, I've had a few days to get to know my little boat. I've taken a few bits and pieces off it. And I wouldn't tell Nick this, but I think I've probably paid a little bit too much for it. Yeah, $5,000. I don't think it was a very good buy at that, because it's pretty much trashed. So I'm going to have to make it up by doing a lot of this by myself. You know, Nick's plan is just to get someone else to do it for him. His budget, yeah, he's sort of doing it on a budget like Malcolm Turnbull, the Prime Minister, would do it on a budget. You know, a rich man. He'd just sort of take it to someone else, get someone else to do all the work, and then turn up 4 weeks later and, oh, look, here's my boat. I've put so much work into my boat. Whereas this, blood, sweat and tears, which means it's all going to be much more gratifying come the end when I'm catching big fish from it.
And that's the thing about the Tri-Hunter. It has the potential to be a brilliant fishing platform, and that's my plan. It's super stable, there's heaps of space, and it's going to absolutely fly. It's rated to take up to 115 Yamaha horsepowers, and it went pretty well with a 40. So just me, my tools, and my faithful hound, like a skilled craftsman of days gone by.
Oh no.
That's so good. Let's try and throw that river.
Meanwhile, just across Bass Strait in the quiet Gippsland hamlet of Duigan, actual skilled people were doing important work.
So exciting times now on project V19. Mick Taranto, mate, we are about to make the first cut, Mick. This is something you need a reasonable degree of skill for this, I expect.
Yeah, it's always better to know what you're doing before you pick up a power tool.
Yes, because the cuts we're about to make in this boat are going to be substantial.
Yeah, we'll cut the whole rear deck off.
Yeah.
because we're going to make it to suit an outboard.
Yes.
New transoms to suit the outboard, so
Yes.
the rear deck will come off.
Yes.
And we'll cut away part of the floor and stringers so we can access the transom first.
Righto, so we cut all this bit out to let you work on the transom.
Yeah, so we can get all the rotten wood out and put new transom in.
Okay, so, you know, since she came out of the plug 50 years ago, mate, this is the most substantial thing, the most invasive procedure that she's ever had.
The V19 was originally fitted with a stern drive, so the rear end needs some reworking. This is going to be a thoroughly modern offshore fishing boat, and you can't make an omelette without cracking eggs. So it's out with the cutting gear and down to work.
Hazmat. I'm like the Marshmallow Man at Ghostbusters.
I normally call them Oompa Loompas, but you're a bit taller than an Oompa Loompa, right?
Now, Mick, what we're not talking about is actually potting this boat. Most time when you go from, you know, a stern drive to an outboard, that involves building, you know, as we've done a couple of times, building a pod on the back. I'm not going to do that.
No, I don't believe it's necessary on this particular boat. They're known for their ride and handling with the hull at that length.
Yeah.
So I believe we've got to change it anyway for an outboard. Let's just go back to a more traditional style engine well.
Yeah, right.
That's personal preference. Whatever the customer wants, really, but I don't see a reason to buy one of these.
Hey Mick, why am I wearing the suit and you're not?
It's my place.
Busted.
I thought you were coming to help, so.
Good luck with that. There's water.
As you can see the water running out.
There's water. Right. So that's in a sealed cavity, presumably, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's your stringer. It's got glass up either side of the plywood.
Yeah.
Or possibly hardwood.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Bucket under the back.
for the last 50 years, it's been sealing that water in there.
How about that? 50-year-old water. We should be bottling that and selling it to, you know, sort of hipsters and people.
Probably would, yeah.
1968 water. Ageless water.
A belly full of stinking 50-year-old water. What other surprises lay in store? Stay with us after the break as the Tri-Hunter comes undone.
YMI offers peace of mind cover for all Yamaha customers. New for old replacement on mechanical and electrical components and motors regardless of age, and a host of other benefits not available anywhere else. Yamaha Motor Insurance is the ultimate in pleasure craft protection at competitive rates.
Ask your local Yamaha dealer about YMI today.
Welcome back to the quiet east coast of Tasmania, where for the first time in half a century, the guts of my Haynes Tri-Hunter are about to be exposed.
Look at that, the bump rail is gone. And I was just sort of hoping the whole thing would pop up, but there's now another layer of rivets that I'm going to have to drill, and then hopefully it'll peel away. I don't like rivets. Rivets are the lazy man's way of building. Right, so this bit, it's all detached. It's all detached. It's ready to be lifted off. This is exciting. I need muscle. I've got the Devil Barrett, good Flinders Island lad. Mate, you are here. Up. It's obviously too heavy just for me. Oh, shit. Okay, back. Can't believe how it's just in two pieces and it's just going to come off. Giving us, giving us access.
There we go.
Giving us access to the hull of the boat. We'll see how.
Can you hold it there, Hardy?
Yeah, got it.
Just hold it there.
Okay, I got it. I sort of got it. Good. Hang on. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I've got the heavy end, Emma. Yeah. Look at that! And look at this. Now work on the transom, which is, I mean, we knew it was soft. We knew, look at that. That is soft / dangerous. You'd hate to think how many old boats are out there with transoms in these conditions. Look at that. That is just completely rotten. Completely rotten. But don't let that scare you. It just means you have to fix it. But what about the access now? Floor comes out. Check out the stringers, cut them out, cut a few new bits of wood here and there, fiberglass it all back in, new transom, big Yamaha here. Job done. Flat out. She's almost finished.
Feeling good about this now, I've got twice as many pieces of boat at no extra cost, and the rebuild can really kick off. This is how you do a budget-conscious project boat, not just paying a heap of blokes in Gippsland.
Project V19 was progressing nicely. The first cuts had been made, and we've discovered some ancient water trapped under the floor.
What does it look like down in there? Oh, she's full of water. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 not being very rotten at all, 10 being extremely rotten.
Oh, we're probably about 7 on this one.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
It is fresh water that is your enemy. It is not seawater.
Seawater won't rot.
Won't rot it.
Won't rot.
But it's sitting around at home, you know, if your boat's collecting water.
Exactly like this one, full of water.
This is what it's doing. So always make sure your boat, when you park it, has got the bow up and the bungs out of it so it can drain. Because that is no good.
With our suspicions of rot confirmed, it became clear that this was going to be a full rebuild. Virtually every scrap of wood removed and replaced.
Righto, well this is good. This is progress, no doubt. Important to recognise, Mick, we're talking about doing boats on budgets here, you know. Can we, is there any case that can be made for doing up an old boat?
Absolutely, you just go into a new boatyard. Yeah. And you price a new boat compared to what a restoration will cost.
Yes.
It's quarter of the price generally. They're like, yeah, absolutely.
It's in your interest to say that.
Well, I'm not going to try to sell a new boat from here, no.
No,
it's well worth doing up an old boat. A lot of people love the old style for a start. There's something in it, the nostalgia of the old.
Well, I'm pretty confident that I will get my money back. I'm not so sure about my friend and colleague Andrew, who is battling with his own boat restoration.
Plenty of progress when next time we visit our boats on a budget, Andrew gives up.
I'm not going to get you to do the job for me. I just need you to sort of instruct, to mentor.
And Nick is declared bankrupt. And of course, our epic lap of Australia rolls on as we head inland in search of giants. That's next time on Hook, Line and Sinker.